Commencement, a word of French origin which means beginning. Indeed, there is a good reason they call ceremony a commencement exercises. Moving Up Day is always a day of rejoicing, for it marks the conclusion of an educational journey and the commencement of another more uncertain and possibly more difficult part of man's quest for a better life in future. Truly, today signifies the culmination of many years of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge amid this COVID-19 pandemic. Knowledge that will enable a person to embrace opportunities and take on challenges with clear vision and purpose in life. Good morning! Welcome to the 6th Moving Up ceremony of Cabatuan National High School, school year 2020-2021, with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine National Anthem, and to be followed by an opening prayer and the singing of regional and division hymn.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manluluping, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pangaw, ay hinagang tulakaw, torch. On the faded way, onward to victory. Mustard seed, child of God's creation, salt of the earth, light of the world. Past and present in combination, the future's sleeping in the classroom. Autumn star glowed up in the height decay, thereof the race pilgrim of the heart. Down prancing God's eternal vine, the long and endless line. Blessed Eastern Messiahs, lead God to guide us. We make the child hearken to the call of becoming treasure of the land. Blessed Eastern Messiahs, racing towards excellence, we show the path as we hold the torch on the faded way, onward to victory. Historic Calbayog City, Pulahan is there, the valiant Niaga. Behold the blessings of the Almighty Father, depicted Calbayog City shine. Brighter today is Calbayog City, embracing noble dreams and great leadership. Behold the blessings of the Almighty Father, depicted Calbayog City shine. With the brilliance of truth and education, raise the wisdom of valued learners, empowered and morally upright mentors, supportive and proactive stakeholders, housing, expansive programs, depicted Calbayog City shines. We educators will rejoice as we enjoy the entire order. We will all to exalt and all tomorrows will always be great. With the guidance of core values, culture of excellence, integrity, and accountability, maka-Diyos, maka-tao, makabayan at makakalikasan. With the guidance of core values, culture of excellence, integrity, and accountability, maka-Diyos, maka-tao, makabayan at makakalikasan. Lifted Calbayog City shines.
Mr. Luisito G. Dira, school head teacher, for the formal declaration of the official opening of the moving up ceremony of Cabatuan National High School.
By the virtue of the power vested in me by the Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 8, Schools Division of Calbayog City, I hereby declare the 6th moving up ceremony of Cabatuan National High School school year 2020-2021 officially open.
Mary Grace C. Gabon, with high honor student, will deliver the welcome address on behalf of the candidates for completion.
A pleasant morning to all of us. This day is the momentous event that we have been waiting for. On behalf of the entire batch of 2021, I am Mary Grace Cabundok-Gabon, proudly standing in front of you as one of your with high honor students. I would like to say thank you to all the teachers of Cabatuan National High School because even though we are in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic, you teachers made a way for us to see and feel this long-awaited event of our lives. To our beloved school head, Mr. Luisito Chedera, our ever-supportive parents, family, relatives, our productive and dedicated teachers, friends, to my fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to welcome you all in this year's Moving Up ceremony with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic. Thank you, and once again, good morning.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let us lend ears to our hard-working schools division superintendent, Dr. Thelma Cabatuan Kitalig, says of 5 to give her inspirational message.
Greetings to one and all. Special mention to my co-pilot, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Sharita Palma, the Chief of Curriculum Implementation Division, Dr. Renato Cagumok, the Chief of School Governance and Operations Division, Mr. Ubaldo Jumangay, the Education Program Supervisors, the Public Schools District Supervisors, the school heads, our completers and graduates, their parents, and all our school stakeholders. Good afternoon to all of you. Today is another milestone in the history of our education pursuit for the sake of our children and their future. This is the completion and graduation rites of our school children this school year 2020-2021 with the theme Strengthening Quality Education Amidst COVID-19 Pandemic. Also, I consider this event a big celebration of the fruitful partnership we have fostered with our stakeholders led by our local government officials in the barangays and the city, as well as the cooperation, support, and understanding of our parents. It is worthy to mention that our teachers, the school heads, and supervisors have painstakingly shared all their best efforts with passion, dedication, and commitment. That is why the completion, the graduation rites is taking place today. To our young completers and graduates, I am congratulating all of you to have survived and won the battle against all the many challenges that have confronted you in trying to respond to the teaching learning modalities provided you by our schools during this pandemic. The teaching learning environment is very unusual, that put all of you, all of us, in a very problematic situation. But all of us did contribute in defining strategies responsive to every issue, event, concern, or even a problem, in solving all of this. So, we achieved all our intentions in reaching this day, your completion, your graduation rites. In this big event, I want you to remember this. Choose to see goodness in everything around you, and you will soon appreciate your life more. Choose to see the good side of every event, thing, or person in your life, and you will never run out of blessings to come. Let love embrace your life as God cares for you. My dear completers and graduates, for you to strengthen quality basic education amidst the pandemic, you should recognize the value of character. It is in your character, in your attitude, in your values, in your willpower that will define your destiny. The achievers are those who do not lose hope in time of adversity. They have a mindset that understands that after the rain, the sun shines brightly in the sky. They are the positive thinkers. They are industrious. They consider an issue a challenge to work on, a problem as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. They do not allow detractors to define their day. They convert obstacles to opportunities. They set goals and achieve them with excellence. They have good relationship with everyone from home down to the community. And they have a very, very high self-respect. These are the sterling traits of achievers, which all of you must inculcate in your mind, develop them in yourselves, and practice them in your everyday life as you continue advancing your education to enable you to reach your ambition or dream in life. To put concrete to this, allow me to mention some of my personal experiences when I was a young student like you. As eldest of the 5 children in a very humble beginning, a very humble family, I took the lead in setting standards when doing home chores. Every weekend, I was in the farm with my mother and younger brother, cutting the grass, planting all kinds of crops available, and harvesting those fit for harvest and bringing them to the market for sale. Occasionally, the 3 of us has to be in the forest to gather firewood enough for the week. Almost all the time in weekends, I was preparing native delicacies like iraid or puto bagol out of cassava, also for sale. So, doing this in those ways, we're no longer asking money from our mother for our projects in school. Actually, in all that we wanted to buy for ourselves when we were in school, like school supplies and snacks, were both out of the income we have in selling root crops, vegetables, and the native delicacies. I also decided to indulge myself and my younger brother in gathering stones at the mountains not far away from the barangay where we were residing, in some weekends when we were not in the farm. What did we do with those big stones? Of course, we gathered them just like what the barangay folks were doing, and we put them along the highway, then broke them into pieces, just like what we are noticing or what we have now when we are having construction, then these small stones are usually, we call them gravel. So those were the things that we have done during those days. And we were selling as well those broken stones. But that time, it was by can. Per can, it was both, I think 15 centavos per can. And we used to have 30 to 50 cans, when the buyer, of the stones or gravel was already around. You see, my brother and I were already very happy when the buyer was already around, because most of the time we were able to make it to 50 cans of gravel and 15 centavos per can. Then we used to receive 7 pesos and 50 centavos. And you know what? Usually it took us about 3 to 4 months for us to be able to come up with that number of cans. But it was an addition to what we already have. Out of the selling of root crops, the selling of vegetables, the selling of the native delicacies. So you see, plus the purchase out of the stones or out of the gravel. Anyway, let me mention to you that my father has worked 14 years in a fishing boat, as a pescador. A pescador is the lowly paid laborer in the fishing boat. But after about 3 to 5 years, probably, my father got promoted to a position they call maestro. As maestro, he was the captain of the boat that stayed for 7 days at sea fishing. When the boat came ashore, we had plenty of fish at home, and this was a weekly scenario. So I learned how to slice the big fish and produce dried fish out of them, also for sale. Additional income again. In my childhood days, my dear young completers and young graduates, what I learned so much was about work. We have never wasted a day with barcadas because we have none. I have none. Yes, I do have friends among neighbors and in the school, my classmates, but we never spent a day for nothing. I do not preach to you to do all this, but I want you to pick up the strong message I am sending out of the simpleness of life I have had in my younger days, but was full of passion, full of hard work, and determination to succeed. To all education program supervisors and key personnel in the division office, to all the public schools district supervisors, to all the school principals, head teachers, teachers in charge, to all our teachers and non-teaching personnel, there is a saying which says, there are 3 kinds of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who watch them happen, and those who never know that everything at all is happening. This we all know. We belong to the first group of people because as teachers, we take hand, we open minds, and we touch hearts. In closing, let me quote Walter Scott. He said, "Whatever understanding we have of ourselves this is what we become. We can become anything we want because the world exists through the power of beliefs. There is nothing fixed or limiting about human being. All the power of the universe is inside us. Simply put, we are who we think we are. And this we have the power to change, to make a difference. Thank you, and mabuhay tayong lahat. Again, to the graduates, congratulations. To the completers, of course, find your time very soon, either August or September, for our next school year opening. Congratulations.
At this point in time, the presentation of the candidates for completion by Sir Luisito G. Dira, the school head teacher.
The Secretary of Education, the Regional Director, through the Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Telma Cabatuan Kitalik, I have the honor to present candidates for completion of Cabatuan National High School, school year 2020-2021. 4 basic education program composed of 32 male and 30 female, a total of 62. These are the students who meet the basic requirement for basic education under the junior high school K-12 program, and this was qualified for completion. Please certify them as completers so they can move up to senior high school and grant them all the rights and privileges they are to appertaining.
By virtue of the power vested in me as the school's division superintendent, and that authority is coming from the office of the regional director, Dr. Jima Ledisma, and in consonance with the pronouncement coming from the 2 chiefs for the completers, Mr. Chumangay, and then for the graduates, candidates for graduation, coming from Dr. Rini Kagumo. Now, I confirm the following as completers. Kindergarten, 4,072. Grade 10, 3,836. As junior high school, 555. And for the candidates of graduation, I am confirming them graduates. Grade 6, 3,740. Grade 12, 2,981. Fifth year, 35. And arts elementary, 47. With the completion of either, all of them, these 4,072 children are ready for enrollment in any public and private institutions, not just here in Calbayog City, but anywhere in the Republic of the Philippines. For grade 10, they are now eligible for enrollment to the senior high school, also anywhere in our Republic. For the arts junior high school, they are as well ready for enrollment in the senior high school, anywhere in the Republic of the Philippines. For our graduates, for grade 6, they are now eligible for enrollment in any public or private, no, institution in our country. For grade 12, then this group practically has two options. It's either they proceed to college or they proceed to life. Life is all about anything you wish to do in accord with the dictum of moral values and what is accepted by the society. For the 5th year, of course, they are eligible also for enrollment, in the next ladder of education. So with this, we have finally succeeded, in our journey for the educational attainment of this group of children. That's why congratulations, not just to this group of children, but to all of us.
The Cabatuan National High School is very honored to present the keynote speaker of this year's Moving Up ceremony. She is a former student of Cabatuan National High School, class of 2015. The eldest daughter of Mr. Diomedes Cabundok and Maria Corina Corazon Cabundok. Graduated at the age of 18 at Christ the King College with a degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. She recently passed the board licensure examination for teachers and currently teaching as a college instructor in Christ the King College and a part-timer in Northwest Samar State University at the age of 20. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you our keynote speaker, Ms. Pavlov Manalili Cabundok.
My gratitude to Almighty God for bringing us to this point in time. Dr. Telma Cabadsan Kitalig, our school's division superintendent, Dr. Geraldine P. Sumbisi, our district adopter, Mrs. Noemi S. Castante, our public schools district supervisor, Mr. Luisito G. Dira, our school head, proud parents, faculty members, barangay council members, visitors, and members of the graduating class, good morning. It feels good to be back, and if I remember correctly, it feels really good to be done, doesn't it? I am delighted to be here to join you in commemorating this momentous moment in this illustrious institution that I am honored to call home. I salute every one of you. Today is a proof that no pandemic can change your determination to learn. You should be really pleased with yourself for achieving this goal. You did an excellent job. I know you're all eager to acquire your certificate in your hands and dash out into the world. But as Ralph Emerson says, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. And that's where I came in as a keynote speaker. I'll try not to drag you in my path, but lead you to make yours. It's been 6 years since I graduated in this school, and things have changed since then. I recall walking into that stage during my graduation with a sorrowful heart, not because of heartbreak, but because I didn't make it to the top. During that time, I graduated salutatorian. I was renowned for being an achiever during my primary and high school years, but things changed since then. Sometimes we forget that there's much more to life than school. Sometimes we get stuck in the mindset that doing well in school is the only path we can take. In our effort to do so, we lose sight of what is truly important. It's not about getting the grade. It's not about making money. It's about making the world a better place. You can help out people who are less fortunate than you. You can smile more than you did the day before. You owe it to other people to do the best you can to change the world, even if the best you can do is just making someone else a tiny bit happier. And that's what school is about. School is about learning the tools we need to make the most positive change we can. So I choose to become an educator. Growing up, I was really astonished as how my teachers mold our young minds. Unexpected as it may sound, my first teacher is my papa, who have taught me many things. While my mama, she is my disciplinarian. Growing up, they say I have a silver spoon in my mouth. But no, my mama and papa work hard for it. My papang and mamang supported me along the way, along with my tatay and mommy bebeng. They give us the things that we deserve because they believe it was their responsibility as a parent, and I love them for that. They taught us to be responsible individuals. This pandemic is really intoxicating. I often read and hear students blabbering in social media that grades doesn't define you as a person during these trying times. And yes, it's true, but it will definitely tell you what kind of student you are. So grades do matter. Do not comfort yourselves with such mindset, but instead, my grades today do not define my tomorrow. Babawi ako bukas, mas gagalingan ko pa. Seek to excel, do not settle for anything less. The next time you're stressing over your grade, just remember that what you're doing is far more than the grade. You're in school because you want to change the world someday. It's alright if you mess up a couple of times. It doesn't take away from your goal of changing the world. Because why should people care that you didn't know something at some point? Isn't it the reason why we are learning? Because we thirst for more. So go out and experience everything you want to experience. Learn everything that you need to learn. Once you do that, go out and change the world because we need you to. In the midst of all padayans, my dear ones, don't forget to have your pahuway. Give yourself the break you deserve. This new learning setup have challenged all of us. Our experience with COVID was far different from the previous years. Although you may be disappointed of not having a formal recognition rights, your class of 2021 is likely to be remembered as the most famous class in school history. You will have a unique story to tell throughout your life about the circumstances of your junior year. How you respond to circumstance is more important, more defining, more lasting than circumstances itself. When you look back on this very disappointing time, how you emerge from it will help define you. Your parents always talk about their long walks to school, uphill both ways in the river and mountains. But you get to tell the tale of surviving modular classes, bad Wi-Fi connection, anxiety, and pressing alone with your modules. Kudos to the class of 2021, not only for your accomplishments, but also for giving up the commencement celebrations in order to contain COVID-19. Also to our teachers who gave their undying 100% full effort and support during these trying times. Completers, you could proudly share the story of your sacrifice with your children and grandchildren in the future, of how you overcame these tremendous years. While things may sometimes seem frightening and unsettling in the long run after this, always remember that with hopefulness and with preparation and the proper tools, we are all capable of a new and sanguine beginning. Sometimes, the worst things in life that happen to you can be the best things that happen to you if you don't let the worst of it get the best of you. I have my fair shares of my ups and downs, but this too shall pass. And the best is certainly yet to come. If you spend your life simply following directions, the only place you'll end up is where somebody else has already been. So, I charted my own course, told myself I should have listened. My mom would always tell me I'm a gem that should be taken care of. That's why I let God do it for me. And every time I came up with an unfamiliar road, every time I stumble, I remind myself that I should not be afraid to take the scenic route because He will guide me. Remember, when the waiter asks if everything tastes fine, he's not asking because he cares about you. He's trying to determine if you have COVID-19 and can taste anything. Kidding aside, what you choose to believe will affect you and the people in your life. Please choose to believe in things that help you and your neighbors and avoid believing in things that breed only anger and mistrust. There are many similarities between people, but the differences are real too. Don't expect people to think and react the same way you do. Things don't matter, people matter. Trust people, but not completely. Let them judge you, let them talk behind your back, walk past them. People can see your smile behind the mask. Let them know you are smiling with your actions. You will be remembered more for your kindness than for your accomplishments. Life brings opportunities and obstacles. Pursue the opportunities, be persistent and patient, getting past the obstacle. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but do learn from the mistakes of others. It's cheaper and more efficient. Never be afraid to question the way things are done, and don't be satisfied. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but do learn from the mistakes of others. It's cheaper and more efficient. Never be afraid to question the way things are done, and don't be satisfied with the inevitable response, because that's the way we have always done it. Always look to learn, to grow, to try new things, to screw those things up, and to only understand the path you're on when you look back. Be a reasonable adventurer. Another chapter has been closed, and a new beginning is ready to be unfolded. May we see to it that the pandemic did not take our opportunity for the formal and traditional graduation rites, but to open our eyes to what our means can do in times of crisis, how strong we are, how capable we are. Now, completers, hold your head up high, relish this moment, and know that the world is waiting for you. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the completers of Class 2020-2021. Male completers: Angkilan Jamil Aniban, Angkilan Jestony Ortega, Angkilan Junard Ortega, Araza Junrix Turcolas, Baliega John Renz Romano, Cabales Julius Pagatpat, Kabundok Mark Asherto, Kapilitan Julito, Catalan J.R. Ramos, Debuton Jade Tuzon, Gonzaga Jenard Rubido, Guardiano Francis Imperial, Juanerio Jolo Comendador, Juanerio Jelmar Tarayo, Medalla Larry Boy Soliva, Mejedo Roberto Jr., Miano John Lloyd Tahil, Moncano Justin Bongkan, Moncano Rensmark Lape, Moncano Ronnie Boy Lape, Ngoho Jared Angkilan, Pagatpat Crisper Ladesa, Pajarito Christian Monte Alegre, Poblete Christian Tahil, Poras Prince Maverick Bunggit, Rojales Dexter Espino, Rojales Johnrix Riodique, Rojales Kent Cosep, Salem Alvin Kabundok, Salem Aldrich Labid, Tabuldan July Torculas, and Tuzon Justin Barrete. Female completers: Alico Maribel Rubinacio, Bunggit Kayla Kahuraw, Bunggit Maryjoy de la Rosa, Kabilian May Abigail Akutin, Kabundok Maria Maiden Hart Manalili, Kapalis Susie K. Salem, Karihutan Angeline Badillos, Kasalhay Emerald Jane Makabidang, Kasalhay Nicole Kanaman, Quenza Nadine May Palma, Estrellas Gemma Francisco, Fuenteblanca Rhea May Bacaron, Gabilan Elisha May Bunggit, Gabon Mary Grace Kabundok, Lacon Fiona Camille Balila, Lucinicio Erlinda Baing, Makabidang Jean Miano, Mejedo Maria Janica Miano, Navira Edeline Tabuldan, Pajarito Maria Claire Nicole Alarcon, Palco Recasel Agustin, Parel Iris Aliero, Peru Maria Princess Erica, Peru Rinalyn, Pulis Daisylin Tabige, Riodique Chinchin Galicio, Sumbice Megaros Gabion, Tahil Alexandrine Faith Conarco, Torcolas Hana Karihutan, and Tuzon Jenisa Barrete. Now, let us recognize the students who have laurels the academic competitions. Ladies and gentlemen, the awarding of Academic Excellence Award. With high honor students: Lacon Fiona Camille Balila, Gabon Mary Grace Kabundok, and Kasalhay Emerald Jane Makabidang. with honor students: Sumbise Magaros Gabion, Kapalis Susikay Salem, Mejedo Maria Janica Miano, Makabidang Jean Miano, Salem Aldrich Labid, Angkilan Jamil Aniban, and Fuenteblanca Reyamay Bacaron. May this recognition inspire the awardees and all the completers to pursue greater heights in the future and serve the country and their fellow men with excellence, integrity, and passion. At this point, let us be all ears to no less than the class with high honor herself, as she encapsulates everything the junior high school life has to offer. A big hand for Fiona Camille B. Lacon for her address of gratitude.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to say that I am very honored to have been given the opportunity to present this speech. Thank you to our supportive school head, our teachers, parents, families, and friends. You all have helped shape us into the people you see today, and I can say that without you, we wouldn't have become what we are now. We have the best teachers who truly cared about us and taught us with passion. They gave us everything they had in hopes of molding great contributors to our society. Our journey in our junior high school life was like a roller coaster ride, because we had our fair share of ups and downs, but because of the plot twist we experienced all throughout these years. May I ask a question? Who among you here tried having falling marks in exam? Who has thought of giving up? Who wanted to succeed? You see, we have faced many challenges to surpass all of them because of our will to succeed. We may have thought of giving up at the middle of the stormy days, but our dreams were bigger than our problems. We say, ayoko na, but our action does, laban pa. You see, what's good with us is our resiliency. We can easily recover from any mishaps. We stand up through challenges stronger than before. I also had my fair share of hardships and struggles. If your opinions about me are based on my rank now, thinking that life for me must have been easy, that I do not cry when there's surprise quizzes in different subject areas, then you are all wrong. In kindergarten, I'd been ashamed of myself because I forgot my lines during the storytelling contest I joined. In grade school, I experienced getting low score in my math quiz because I subtracted the numbers instead of adding them. But that taught me to be more cautious of my work. Pressure, that is my greatest enemy, but it also played an important role in building myself. My teachers expected too much from me. My classmates look up to me. You may think that the feeling must be so great, but for me, it is not. My mistakes are easily noticed and they easily judge me based on those mistakes. I get low scores too, and even sometimes spend the night crying because I do not know how to balance my responsibilities anymore. Fellow students, I am openly expressing myself because I want you to realize that anything that happened to us in the previous years, even the smallest thing, has contributed a lot to our humanity. We need to accept our flaws because it made us who we are today. I felt fear whenever I thought of finishing grade 10 and studying a new chapter. But I am filled with excitement to take a risk into another world, which is the senior high school. More importantly, I would like to express my deepest and sincerest gratitude to my family for their encouragement, for being sensitive with and understanding of what I feel. The values you have instilled in me, especially perseverance and honesty, your commitment and support, both emotional and financial. To my mother who knows me so well, for standing by my side and defending me in times of need. To my father who reminds me to rest whenever I am tired and for patiently listening to my whines. To my sisters for knowing so well the best way to comfort me. To my family, thank you so much for the laughter, tears, patience, care, and love. I cannot express any further how thankful I am to have you as my example in everything. Above all, I would like to thank God for guiding me through everything, for hearing and answering my prayers, and most especially, for blessing me with people who continue to provide me the guidance to do what is just and right. Fellow classmates, we all deserve to celebrate and be proud of ourselves. It's upsetting that we won't have a traditional moving up ceremony, and sadly, we cannot control the circumstances that we face today, the COVID-19 pandemic. What we can do is choose how we respond to it as we take this next ladder of education in life. We can use the pandemic as an excuse for why we can't move on in life, or we can use it as motivator to find our purpose. Whether we plan to go to senior high school or not, but whatever we plan in doing after we finish grade 10, it will impact the society. All of these things that we have been through up to this point made us who we are. And the best part is, we're not done yet. We'll continue to experience things and make memories every day that will mold us here and there, and to who we truly are and who we are meant to become. I consider myself lucky to have met you all. Once again, thank you and congratulations to all of us.
Emerald Jane M. Casalhay, class with high honor completer, for the Pledge of Loyalty.
Pledge of Loyalty. I, Emerald Casalhay, a member of the completer class of school year 2020-2021, do hereby solemnly pledge with fidelity and allegiance to our alma mater, Cabatuan National High School, to uphold her noble teachings and live up to her expectations, to maintain the dignity of her name, to be of service to my fellow men, and work for the greater glory of the Republic of the Philippines under the guidance of the ever-loving Father in heaven. So help me God.
Jade M. Gabilan, a with honor student of class 2019, for the induction of the Alumni Association.
Oath to the Alumni Association of Cabatuan National High School. I, a junior high school completer of school year 2020-2021, do hereby solemnly pledge with allegiance to the Cabatuan National High School Alumni Association. I sincerely promise to abide the Constitution and bylaws, to willfully cooperate in every possible way, to offer myself to the association the best way I can, to uphold the dignity of her name, and to cherish the memory of my alma mater, Cabatuan National High School. So help me God.
Mr. Luisito G. Dira, the school head teacher, will now officially close the 6th moving up ceremony of Cabatuan National High School.
By the virtue of the power vested in me by the Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 8, Schools Division of Calbayog City, I hereby declare the 6th moving up ceremony of Cabatuan National High School school year 2020-2021 is now officially closed.